This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Godden with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. Here's James. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Athletic, accurate, strong arm, knows how to make something out of nothing, and is also an excellent leader.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. His throw incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
After all he's been through, I want to talk about Eric Berry, and it was really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down in the box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback. You name it, Eric Berry can do it.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Taken in at the 11. Spins away. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 38. Throwing now is Mahomes. Rolling to his left. Finding some room at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They go play action here on first down. Forced out to his left. Now he's got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 46 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get two guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
Butker now to kick this one away. Here's James. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. This is taken at about the 14. Oh, spinning away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through him. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. Oh, nice move. Again with a juke. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Blue 45! Blue 45!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at the juke. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Butker now to kick this one away. Here's James. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Allen Bailey in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Black 80! Black 80!
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. He gets this one to Garcon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Taking it about the 16. Good move at the 30. Oh, another beautiful move.
Man, that's better than the 2-step, isn't it?
Meanwhile, we will not get another play as time will run out on this first quarter. It's the Chiefs on top early. We're back to Santa Clara after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. As they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Mahomes will try again on second down. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it. 6
points go by the wayside on that one.
Hey, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunky yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. He got 29 yards that time.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
This is Breida, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Gold is able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Ready! Blue 45! Blue 45!
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And going deep for Hill. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyree Tyreek Hill with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Butker now to add the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And out across midfield down to the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
Here we go.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a first down. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Garoppolo again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this is Selleck here with a grab. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. And that's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Steps away. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. He's going to go on. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, good move. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, there was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 74 yards. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Butker now to kick this one away. Here's James. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Niners on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. D. Ford in there to sack him for a loss of 6. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
4 down. Check. Here we go.
They run with Breida, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
That is right. Black 80! 180!
Now Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down. D. Ford in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche that's coming right on top of them. Oh, nice move at midfield. A second nice move. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 30 yards. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Butker now to kick this one away. Here's James. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Black 80! Black 80!
Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Niners on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
3 down. Black 80! Black 80!
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Allen Bailey in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Look at the spin.
Balance.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. And out come the Chiefs now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Oh, now he bowls him over. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. D. Ford getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Over the middle to Garcon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. From behind, and he's going to be driven down. Chris Jones in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Time for a break. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. It's caught by Garcon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They're just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Like 80! 180!
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Goodwin. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Garoppolo 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Anthony Hitchens with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Mahomes going to throw it here. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy,